Hi, I'm Caboose, or Carrie, whichever way you want to go. My trail name is Caboose, and I just completed the Appalachian Trail on September 9th, 2024. And I am putting my gear away, so I thought I would share with everybody the stuff that I took with me or mailed home. And so this is my last video of that series, and it's kind of just a dumping ground of everything left. So, but I did want to show you, this is Leukotape, and I used it on the trail, but I found this little hack, and so I wanted to show it to you guys. I'm going to put it on this paper here really quick and show you. But you know the paper that, like if you go to UPS and you mail something back to Amazon or something, they put your receipt on this wax paper with a sticker. Well, I take the sticker off of that, and then I put my Leukotape on that, and then cut that in strips. And then when I get ready to use my Leukotape, it just comes off really easy. So I did that until I ran out of Leukotape, and then I didn't do it anymore. But that's a pretty good hack. I've been saving my wax paper so I can do that. But I wanted to share that with you because I thought that was kind of cool. These were my Dirty Girl gators, and I want to do a shout out to Dirty Girl Gators, the company, because one of my hooks came off in Hot Springs, and I emailed them, and not only did they send me a hook for my Dirty Gators, they also sent me another pair of Dirty Gators, which, you know, they say the trail provides. And season one, her gators were not Dirty Gators. Hers fell apart and she couldn't use them. So I gave her the new pair and I kept mine. So it worked out perfect. I had a little bit of a break there because my brother and sister-in-law just came in to get away from the hurricane. So, but this is another random dump of all the rest of the stuff that I have that I haven't told you about yet. So this was my sit pad. I took that with me the whole time. I had one of the big accordion pads. I sent that back because I really didn't use it very much. And when I put it underneath my sleeping pad, I felt like I was slipping and sliding a lot. So I just bailed on that. And then I had two Ziploc baggies that I used. And in this one, I had my toothbrush and toothpaste. I had a nail brush because your nails get pretty gnarly. And then I had a backup piece of Velcro for my Dirty Girls in case they came off. And then I had a little bottle of Bonners and jelly. This is not the size that I brought. It was probably half of this that I used on my feet in the morning when I started the trail. And then at night before I went to bed, I always put some on there. So that was one. Oh, and I also kept the Voltarin in there. I used this when my knees started aching. I got a bottle of it from a Trail Angel in Harper's Ferry. And then when that bottle emptied out, I went ahead and bought another one. So took care of that. And then I have another bag, same exact size. And that's where I kept my vitamins. I had my vitamins there. I had my Protandem, and I had my anti-inflammatories in there. And then I had my repair kit and a repair screen that I thought I was gonna need. I had a small bottle of super glue, some live wire rope that if I decided to add that to my tent, but I didn't. I used a little bit of this, and I found some orange wire that somebody had left, and so I used that on one of the platform. I only used the platforms twice the entire time I was hiking on the Appalachian Trail, but so I used the orange cord for that. And then I had an extra sport bottle cap, which I never had to use. I did replace my water bottles like 2 or 3 times. And then I bought some Tylenol and I put it in a little baggie until I used it all up. And actually there's some in here still. So I put them in a Ziploc baggie because I use this to hold my thyroid medicine, because I had them in a Ziploc baggie the first round. And by the end, I had a lot of them that were just powder. So I wanted to put them in some kind of protective case. So that worked out great. And then I had a Bic lighter. I have a second one here, but this one was actually with my cook system. But when I sent my cook system home, I kept that lighter. So that was what was in that bag. And then my first aid kit was in this little bag right here. And I had chapstick in there, which I never used. I used my clippers. I tried to clip down my nails as short as I could because that meant there was less dirt in my fingernails. I had a little bottle of triple antibiotic ointment. And then I had, this is gonna throw away, but this is a Q-tip that I had in a Ziploc baggie. I had a little Ziploc baggie full of Band-Aids, and I had a little a really small sewing kit with one needle in there. And then I had a little thing of anti-diarrhea medicine. I had some Z-Quil to help me sleep, and Benadryl. And I sent the big package home and only ended up staying with this when I sent another thing home. But I really used that stuff to try to help me sleep, but it didn't work very well. And then I had some Bo9, and I was taking this when I was, what do you call it? Vertigo. I had vertigo for a while, and so it was suggested that I take some of that. And so I did that. And then I had these pills right here, which I can't remember what they're called, but they're if you get bit by a tick. So I had these. They were a prescription. And then my doctor also gave me 2 of these, and they were for a UTI, but I never needed to use those. And then I had a sleeve of Aqua Tabs, which probably I could throw away. It's pretty worn out, but never used any of those. And then I had a little thing of bacitracin, which I picked up late in the hike. So that all went into my first aid kit. And then I had this towel. This is the only towel that I brought besides the little one that was probably like a quarter of this size that I put in my cook kit. And this, sometimes I would use if we had like a solar shower. This was my towel to dry off my whole body. And then other times I used it to dry off my tent. Oh, and I also had one of these in my first aid kit. So that was all that. And then the last thing was, and I had a couple of these towels, compressed towels that will open up, and they're pretty sturdy. So I had them, I didn't use them very often, so I stopped getting them shipped to me, and I gave some of them away. And then my last thing, I think, nope, I have a couple more things. I'll go over this stuff first. This was a tripod that I used. I did send it home, I think when I got to Vermont, but you just put your phone in here, and then you can open this up, and it can be a tripod, or you can keep it closed and wrap it around like a tree or a stick or something, and it can be held up there. So, but I didn't use it as much as I thought I was going to, so I sent that back. And then this is probably one of my most valued things, because every day I put what day it was, the date that it was, and where I hiked to. So like day 2 was Hawk Mountain. Well, the first night I went Springer Mountain to Hawk Mountain, and that was 7.4 miles. And then it says day 2, 323, Hawk Mountain to Gooch, and then what mile marker that was and how many miles I walked that day. And then eventually I just started writing where I ended up at and how many miles I did and what the mile marker was. And then any other information, like on the 12th of May, it was day 51. And we stayed at Hurricane Mountain Shelter, and that was a 500-mile mark. And we saw ponies, and I fell. So, and then we went to the general store for a hamburger. So I put little notes like that in there so that if there was any kind of like something cool happened that day, I could remember that. So I did that all the way through all 171 days. So I really I cherish this right here. All right, and then the last thing, and probably the least appealing, is my bathroom stuff. So I had this, well, first of all, I started with just a regular Ziploc baggie, and then I got this, and it didn't really hold up very well. The whole inside of it is just torn apart, but this is where I kept everything. This was my trowel that I used to dig my cat holes, which honestly, I think I probably only did like 10 cat holes the entire time I was out on the trail. I had some antibacterial hand sanitizer stuff, and I had some wet ones. I usually use these just to wipe my legs off at the end of the day. And then I had a roll of toilet paper. And so that, and then I kept this on my fanny pack, which I didn't show you guys. And this was my pea style and my my pea cloth. So this is antimicrobial, and it is a cooler cloth. And then the pea style looks like this. And so I use this in the daytime, and then I also used it at night so I wouldn't have to get out of my tent. And I used it with my pee bottle. So this is a Nalgene collapsible bottle. And if I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I would just use this and then empty it out at the end of the day, or at the end of the night when I woke up in the morning. Now, I think this is my last thing besides my backpack. And this is my fanny pack, and it is a light AF fanny pack, and I love this. Sometimes it got a little stuffy because I was putting more snacks in it as I got hungrier, but the front pouch held my phone perfectly. It's got a little hole in it right now, but unless it was wet and then it would stretch, or when I was in the whites and having to take really big steps, sometimes the phone would kind of lift out, and then I would have to put it in the zipped area. But I would attach my pea style to this on one side, and for a while I had my Garmin on the other side, but I ended up putting it up on my backpack. So that was that. And then last but not least is my backpack. We had a love-hate relationship. This is my Kakwa. I still have my tags on it from Baxter State Park and from when I started. And I had a snot rag. I just used a handkerchief. The first one I threw away because I cut my arm really bad and it was bleeding. And so I used it to clean the blood up. And so instead of trying to clean that out, I just threw it away. And I don't have it on, I have my other hand sanitizer right here. And then I also put in my Garmin InReach over here. I only used one pocket for my water. I used this one. And this one I kept my sunglasses in, which are still in here. And then my pockets were pretty big, but I put my first aid kit in one pocket and my night lamp, or my headlamp. And then this side over here, I put my water bottle. So it was really easy to fill up my Be-Free water filter. And a lot of times I didn't even take my backpack off. So I think that's it. It's got two pretty good sized pockets. And then it's got a zipper behind this pocket right here. And I have a couple things in here, which I probably need to get out. This was from New Hampshire, and it was, you could go into the huts and get like pastries or soup, and you got 50% off your camping spots. So a Ridge Runner gave this to me, and I didn't have to pay for it. So that was super nice. So that's now a souvenir. And then my friend Jill gave me this little portable hug. And it's got just like, when you think things are really hard, just remember how far you've come, kind of saying on the back, which is really cool. And so at first I had it on my backpack, but it opened up one time. Luckily it didn't fall out, so I put it in that zipper pouch. And it stayed with me all 2,197.4 miles. So that concludes all my stuff that I took with me on the Appalachian Trail, besides my shoes, which are Topos. But I showed those, I think, on another video. But if you have any questions, just shoot me a message and I will answer it for you. Thanks for watching, and I will take you with me on my next adventure. All right, bye, peace out. I am already in my pajamas and ready to go to bed, but I had this thought and I wanted to share it. So I wanted to just put it out there that all this stuff worked for me. Doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna work for you. I just wanted to share what I used and how I used it. With that being said, I have a in my notes, I put a link to all the things that I could get on Amazon if you wanted to check it out. It is an associate link, but that doesn't necessarily, I mean, so I get a little bit of a, I guess, a kickback from that, but whether you use that or not, it really is irrelevant to me. I just wanted to make sure that I had a link there for you to at least go and check it out and see if they were something that you'd be interested in. So I just wanted to make that available to you guys. And for me, I tried a lot of different things before I finally came up with what was going to be good for me. And I'm sure that anybody else that's getting ready to do the Appalachian Trail as a thru hike is probably going to go through the same thing. So I don't know if this will help eliminate choices or increase your choices, but hopefully it'll help you. So I wanted to put that out there. I also wanted to do a shout out to Jasper and Eeyore, who just summited 2 days ago, and I have their summit picture. So I'm going to leave it here at the end of this video and just celebrate with them. So congratulations, you two. I am so glad that you made it to Katahdin, and I'm so glad that you shared your celebration with me. So, all right, for real this time. Good night. Peace out.